Welcome back, Stupid Fast Nation. So this little project started out with a big dream. I wanted to take a Yamaha Banshee swapped mini bike to an event for three-wheelers in New York with Preston from This Old Trike and to hopefully blow some people's minds. But like a lot of projects, the timeline is very strict, things never go exactly as planned, and I wasn't exactly able to finish it in time. Now here's the thing, that's just real life. Sometimes you set big goals, you chase after them, and you fall short. But that doesn't mean you failed. Every step forward, every late night in the garage, every busted knuckle is still progress in some shape or form. And that's what this channel is all about. Pushing limits, learning as we go, and trying to have fun along the way. In today's video, we're going to fire this beast up for the first time, walk through what exactly I've done, and talk about what's next before it finally rips down the road in the next video. So buckle up, because this little mini bike is about to get stupid fast, and there's even some really sick mini rips in this content if you're paying attention. So if this sounds interesting to you, relax, grab a snack, and let's get after it. I cycle just cause I'm feeling free. I drink some glycol to kill the demon in me. All these places in the world I travel to and see. The demon faces in this world, I think they're following me. Now I'm trapped inside these places in my mind. It happens all the time when I try to hide. Welcome back, Stupid Fast Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, rippers and ripettes, today we are crossing the threshold between insanity and high horsepower creativity. Today I am bringing you this junky $100 mini bike that I'm going to turn into something ridiculously fun and fast. And if you can hang tight with me, I promise you it's going to be well worth the wait. I am super excited, as you can tell by my tone. It's been a crazy day. It's almost 1 p.m. Thursday, July 30th or 31st. We're somewhere right there. I think tomorrow's the 1st. We're right at the end of the month, and I was looking for a little project to get me by on some YouTube videos, right? Till I get the YZ1000 done, because that thing is just taking me forever. But it is turning out legitimately insane. It's one of the sickest builds I've ever done in my life. The 37 years that I've spent on this planet, YZ1000R is the sickest build that I have ever done. So anyway, that being said, while we got that one on the back burner, I need another insane project to keep me going. And I came up with the idea. I just love Banshee swapping stuff. Banshee motors are super sick. They make a ton of power, even in stock form with FMF pipes. I mean, we're talking 50 horsepower. Nice, incredible power band, and the sound. I mean, who doesn't love the incredible Banshee sound? So with that being said, I've got a Banshee motor in the back on my bench ready to be assembled, and we're gonna be Banshee swapping a mini bike in this episode. And I'm gonna do it out of all stuff in the shop. Whatever I got sitting around, I'm gonna be out here as late as I gotta be, because tomorrow, me and my son are going to the Vintage Wheeler Palooza event, and I want to take this with. I think this would be a cool project. Now, I do have a plan B if we don't get finished, but I don't want to take plan B. I want to take this. This is new, it's unique, it's fun, it's original. Anyways, let's get cracking on this Banshee swap mini bike build. Alright, rippers and ripettes, I'd like to take a quick second and thank today's sponsor of the video, Insta360. They were so kind enough to send me over a nice little care package to try out today. This here is the X5 and has a nice wide variety of neat features, like supporting 8K footage up to 30 FPS, it's super lightweight in your hands, very well balanced, and comes with a nice lineup of accessories like this selfie stick that is literally invisible while recording. In a little bit, we are going to be shredding my Quadzilla 500 with some different angles, so stay tuned. Rippers and ripettes. So as you can see, I have everything laid out here to assemble the world's fastest Banshee powered mini bike. Maybe not. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. I haven't seen one of these ever done before until I posted it on my Facebook today and somebody put one that was incomplete. I didn't see one running and riding yet. I've seen a mini trike, not seen a mini bike. So with that being said, I've got all this stuff out. It's just all for a stock motor build. I'm not gonna do anything sick yet. We don't need crazy power yet. Let's get it running, riding for the event. I'm debating on doing a 521 Super Cub in the mini bike, which I think would be wild, uncontrollably wild, which is what I want. I want to be scared to death. So, because that doesn't happen anymore. I ride stuff like the 521 all the time, so it doesn't scare me anymore. So in order for me to get my adrenaline rush, we got to kick it up a notch. Let's get cracking. We're going to do time lapse. Let's get it. Rippers and ripettes, let me just tell you something. Being an underdog is not an easy task in this world, but you have to go through that process if you want to get to any type of middle to top tier position in this world. So what I mean by that is I am an underdog. I'm a small to mid-sized creator. A phishing scam got me this week, guys. I thought I was going on a podcast to speak about my life story. So I spent 8 hours yesterday frantically searching for a way to gain control of my account back when I realized it was a scam. 10 years of hard work really hurt my heart, guys, I'm not gonna lie. But I am an underdog and I am used to this. And I am tough as freaking nails, man. I'm telling you what, the stuff I've been through in my life, this is a drop in the bucket. With that being said, this is what underdogs do. I'm an underdog. So I'm gonna show you guys how us underdogs smash the shit out of everything. Anyways, we must move on with the project. I made a commitment to go to this event and I really don't wanna let Preston down on that commitment. I say I'm gonna do something, I'm a man of my word, I'm gonna do it. So with that being said, let's get back to work on the Banshee swapped mini bike. I came out real early this morning, 5 a.m., finished up the top end. We got some nice Chariot reed cages on there with some Boyson reeds. We got a Hemi head from Vito's. Not a huge fan of Vito's parts, but they got some smaller domes. And this was just a spare I had sitting on a shelf that I wasn't gonna use anytime soon for a stock bore, stock stroke motor. So I got this whole thing put together, ready to go. I put some drag springs on it because the clutch plates were looking a little iffy. So I put some drag springs on it and I've got a blaster kicker because I don't have an extra Banshee kicker, but I had a blaster one and they fit. And they have that nice little tab for your foot. So that should work out really well. Anyways, this is what it looks like. We've got a little bit of work to do yet. Motor's not mounted in. We've got to do the rear wheel sprocket. We got to put a disc brake setup on it. Originally it had a drum brake setup on it. So we're going to figure that out, make that all work in unison, mount the motor, try to figure out the exhaust up by the frame rails there. We're pretty close. I got this bicycle seat. We'll get that guy on there. I think that's a pretty good seat. I'll pitch it forward a little bit because this thing's going to be riding wheelies the whole time anyways. We'll get a makeshift gas tank on there. Clutch, throttle, back brakes. For now, we'll add front brakes later, hopefully. Let's get it. All right, let's get cracking on this Banshee swap mini bike. We're gonna start by getting the back wheel ready with some disc brakes. I've got a few ideas in mind here. I will take you along the process as we build this into a proper stopping machine. Alright, now obviously this is not going to be the best method at doing this, but this was the quickest way that I could figure out how to center the sprocket. I measured the inner diameter of both of these sprockets. I then laid the one over top of the other one, and I took the difference, split it in two, and then tried to get all four corners, and then I even did a 6 corner, and then we traced this with a screwdriver to kind of scribe it, or a straight edge, and as you can see, that looks pretty straight, so I guess we're going to trust it. Then I'm going to go ahead and oblong these holes out just a little bit because the sprocket holes were only slightly off, and I took exactly the same amount off of both holes. That way they lined up. And as you guys can probably tell by this point, we're trying to lengthen the axle bolt for the rear wheel. So I went ahead and made this little jig, this pipe that you shove both ends into to kind of get it straight. The inner diameter was very, very close to the size of the axle bolt basically. And then we weld that together, grind it down a little bit, take it out, finish it up, clean it up on the lathe. And then we have ourselves an extended rear axle that should hold my weight. This is what it looks like after I'm done sanding it down, cleaning it up. Barely see any imperfections where the weld is. Oh, don't look at that. But the true test, oh, beautiful, hit the floor. Look at that. All right, boys, so I'm chasing my tail here trying to get this stuff done. Just want to show you is what I came up with for the rear disc brake assembly. KX100 wheel right there. And then so this rotor, I know the bolts are bulky, but I'll fix that. So we got these stands here that I created. They were already drilled. All I did was tap them. And then it literally, this rotor, the diameter of this, okay, and she's like a slight snug fit. And then I will put this on something with the axle, spin it, and watch for straight. I'll probably tack one of them, watch for true straight, and then I'll tap this and get it as close as I can with a pointer. just like you would if you were truing a rim. Sprocket's already on. Sprocket looks great. Plenty of room for the chain to get by the side of the tire there. Not too shabby, guys. That'll work just fine. Hell yeah! Beautiful morning to be alive. As you can see behind me, we are at the wonderful event. Unfortunately, I was not able to bring Banshee swapped mini bike. I spent many hours working on it, and I finally called it quits. It was a 5-hour drive to get here. Fast Junior here, got the tent set up. Say what up, nation? Tired boy, tired boy. All my stuff.
I was like, oh my God, you left his things here.
You're a blessing, thank you.
You're welcome.
Son, one of these is for you.
You gotta be official.
Yeah, you gotta be you're now an aficionado. You're a true wheeler Palooza. Yeah, like this Honda right here in the glass there, that's a very rare piece. You don't see one of these every day, that's for sure. Dang. This is gorgeous. Oh, you get a peek in the back. You guys mind if I step here just to take a look? Okay. Oh my God, look how clean this thing is. What got to the plastic? A racket in there and chew on it? You know. Gotcha. I'm gonna get some footage. I'll catch you. Mike, right? Nice to meet you, Mike. I know, but you look like a badass with glasses on. See you do a little ripper.
Right, I'm not gonna like this.
I know, you gotta put your feet back. You could put a pillow under your butt to lift you up if you want. Go ahead, hop over, see if you fit. I'm holding it for you. Oh, don't step on my hand.
I didn't mean to.
All right, let me see. Better?
Yeah, it's slippery though.
Yeah, I know. So you'll have to get your feet on you have to get moving and then get your feet, yep. All right, let me see you do a little rip on it. Get moving and then get the other one up. You got it, there you go. It is. But you look like you're having fun. And that's what counts most. Here we have my favorite creation of all time, the TRX 250R swapped 70R from Charles Burke. Love this thing. Charlie, you gotta let me ride it. Let's go, bro. Alright, Rippers and Rippettes, in today's Insta360 promotion, we're going to be trying out the Insta360 X5 360 degree camera that supports 360 degrees of video footage. These things, I've seen them all over online. They look to be incredible cameras, and I am super stoked and super excited. You guys know that I love my cinematics here on the channel. I focus a lot on being creative artist of some sort when I edit these videos, and this is going to provide a whole new unique perspective to the content that I'm bringing to the table for you guys. So obviously I am super excited in trying out this new camera on this new platform. Let's give it a whirl.
Nick Shannels, Kyle Ortel, Wayne Hollenbeck, Ben Meyer, and Rex Slaughter. Those are the first contenders. We're going to go with the adults first. So, yes, sir. There it is.
I love this.
First place Wagon Backin' Kids goes to the one and only Bennett Frazier.
And the helmet to match. Alright, Rippers and Rippettes, I know I'm a mess. I've been out here working hard on the Banshee swap mini bike. Now, in the essence of saving time, let's talk about where we're at really fast so I can keep pumping on this and we don't have to hit the brakes. Alright, so here's where we currently stand. We have the beautiful Schwinn quality seat. She's got some suspension on her. That's gonna break in 2.5 seconds. It's already broken. Okay, anyways, so just don't pay attention to that. That's wonderful. So we have the engine mounted. Now, what I did here was I just used some, these are, believe it or not, these are Chevrolet Silverado leaf spring shackle brackets that I cut in half, drilled a hole through. And then I kind of made this, like, I triangulated the back of this here to, like, really brace this back tube because it gets thinner down here. And I'm kind of worried about this engine making enough power to kind of tweak this frame because this is cheap Chinese junk. So I think we're going to throw some gussets in here. Up top of here, we'll do some triangle gussets up in the corner here. We'll do some triangle gussets down here, both sides, both top, bottom, both sides. We'll probably do some on the inside of this guy. Just all these little areas where everything connects, and I think the welds are junk. Because, you know, I got to looking at welds like this here where it kind of dips in, and I was like, that's junk. And then we have these front mounts here. I took a piece of pipe. I thought that would be the strongest way to mount it. Would be to take a pipe, flatten the edge, you get double the thickness. So that's like a 1/4 inch thick of steel right there. Bolt goes through. We got one on the other side there. Bada bing, bada boom. So we got that in the back, we got that in the front. That will definitely keep this solid. I mean, it moves the whole bike, it doesn't move. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's gonna hold up great. We're gonna gusset the whole frame. The next step is we have to get a gas tank, radiators, and pipes. So, and then we're pretty much ready to rip this thing. Let's keep working hard on the Banshee Swap mini bike. This is probably one of my favorite projects to date yet, except for the YFZ1000, But as far as like the junk style builds go that I do, this thing is just so freaking sick, man. This goes right along with me. Let's get it. Bad. Not bad. Oh, don't look at the, oh God, don't scare me like that. All right, just don't look at the weld, okay? I don't want your eyes to get burned, all right? Because this will hurt your eyes. So cover your eyes for a second. Okay?
Ready?
Yeah, hon.
How did you make this black chair?
I didn't make it, I got it for free.
You got it for free?
I did, I got it for free. All right, hold on, one more beat, quick. Alright, Fast Family, check this out. We are making some serious progress with the Banshee swapped mini bike. My heart is on fire with this thing. After everything we've been through the last few months with the channel getting hacked and losing the Facebook account temporarily and still not getting the AdSense account back after 2 months, this is going to definitely lift my spirit up. So I have a hard on to get this done, and we are nearing completion. So what do we have going on today? It's probably my 4th day in total working on it in whole. I've done little pieces of work over several days and several weeks, because this has probably been a month in progress total already. But let's catch us up to speed. Where are we at today? So chains on, carbs are on, shifter assembly is all done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's a little primitive in the design, but I wanted it to be really strong. And I feel like the 1/8 inch plates being a little bit thicker and bigger, and even though they're bulkier and uglier, this is just a low dollar budget build that we're trying to put together for some cool content. And I do think that will be strong. So building this out of scrap metal to me is just fun. it's a challenge that I like, you know? So anyways, I used a bolt for the front of the shifter. We got that thing all, actually it's really nice. It only has a little bit of play in it, which is really good. I thought I was gonna have more play than that. We've got the brake assembly over on the right side. I put forward controls on this so it's a little easier to do wheelies. I feel like leaning back will be a heck of a lot easier on this thing. We've got the LT 450R radiator mounted in position. It's a little bigger than I wanted, but a little more cooling doesn't hurt, especially if we're gonna be out in some hot weather with this thing ripping around. And then we've got a blaster kicker on it. We've got our chain tensioning assembly put on. Yeah, we're down to gas tank, pipes, and electronics at this point. So I think for pipes, I've been thinking about this the entire week, and I was like, man, what can I do for pipes? So after we fixed the front of the frame here and ran one tube down with some C-channel attaching us back to the frame, that left room for the pipe to be able to exit underneath here, underneath the radiator. So I think what we're gonna do is go out and down and under and run the pipe down and around the bottom of the frame here the best we can around the shifter assembly. I thought about doing a 2-into-1. I think we're gonna do a 2-into-1, which will probably be 20 times easier than doing 2 separate exhausts. There's just not a lot of room for 2 separate exhausts on this chassis. We'd have to be doing some really crazy stuff like running an expansion chamber like out here to the side, like a huge bullhorn. And I don't wanna do crazy stuff like that for something like this. You know, like a low dollar budget build. I kind of just wanna keep it, like I want it to have some power and look cool and stuff, but like I also don't want to spend 3 months in fabricating this thing when this frame is just cheap Chinese steel and it's probably gonna break and crack at some point, and we'll probably have to gusset it a bunch of times and do a bunch of other things to it. So with that being said, the other thing I added was this little stabilizer piece here. I added this whole sidebar on the frame to help brace this, and then I added a like a stand, basically similar to what the Banshee guys do. They add a attachment point to the frame and run it over to the stator cover to kind of rigidize, make the motor more rigid in the frame so it doesn't twist when you pull the chain and it puts a lot of load on it. So but that's it, guys. We're caught up to speed. Let's go ahead and get the pipes and tank done. Let's get this thing ripping and riding. Let's freaking go.
All right, guys, I'd like to take a second and introduce today's second video sponsor, Sizzle Ebike. Sizzle Ebike has been so generous and sent me one of their amazing folding e-bikes so that I could bring it to the channel for you guys. And you know how much I love my e-bikes. Me and my entire family use these things all over the local area to go to gas stations, pick up, you know, small orders of groceries, and anything you can do to save gas and try to save the environment, I'm all for. So this is one way I can try and give back a little bit. This e-bike is incredible. It's got a 1,000-watt peak rear hub motor power, 70 Newton meters of torque with a cadence sensor for pedaling, and then also has 20-inch fat tires, hydraulic disc brakes, 65 miles max range on a fully charged battery, 23 miles per hour top speed, and you can fold this bike up and take it anywhere with you in less than 10 seconds. How cool is that? Let's take this thing for a quick ripper and see what she's got to offer. Kind of hard to do with one hand, guys. Sorry. Whoa, okay. Oh, yo. Sheesh. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. $20 miles per hour, I'm pretty sure, is the government limit anymore for these things. So the days of 36 mile per hour electric bikes and scooters are gone, fellas. They're gone. I got the Varla scooter that goes 36. Everyone I get now is 20 to 22. Thank the government for keeping us safe.
Reach out, don't
what I'm doing now is I'm checking fitment around my legs to where I'm going to shift and use the brakes, because those are the most important areas that come into contact with the ankles, the toes, the feet. And you guys know me, I like to ride around like a little badass in my sandals and shorts. So, and then we're going to run these silencers out and do one silencer. We're going to do a 2-into-1 because I love the way 2-into-1 Banshee sounds. So, let's get cracking. Got the exhaust done. You know the deal, we're up to the first start now. Pipes are done, radiator's mounted, ready. There's a little bit of water in it, but I have a leak on the base gasket. Let's give it a first start. We got a 2-into-1 silencer set up on it. I think it looks great. Dying to hear how this thing sounds. So why don't we try, I did a makeshift gas tank for now just to get the fuel into the carbs, try and hear it run, and then I'm gonna custom make a gas tank for it. And I didn't even zippy tie the wiring up yet. I kind of just have everything laying on the floor over there. I really need to hear this run, which will give me the motivation to finish the details on it. Here goes nothing. Ugh. This is gonna be really fun, guys. Choke doesn't stay out on the stock McCuney carbs. It definitely got good compression though, I'll tell you that. Kind of happy I put the blaster kicker on this one because it has that little flap on it. Still hurts though. Take it back, the blaster flap digs into the bottom of my heel. That's a fire up! I love it. Woo! Oh, God. All right, now, let's talk about this real quick. Okay. So not too hot. All right, super fast fam. Rippers and ripettes. Ooh, that. Okay. Left cylinder not firing correctly. Don't know why. Right pipe scorching hot. Left pipe, almost no heat in it. Could be the coil connection, could be a dead spark. I bet it's a dead spark plug because these are some trash spark plugs I pulled out. Anyways, super fast fam, rippers and ripettes. Whew! A lot of progress in one video. I try my best not to do this in a multi-part series for you guys. I try to do my best to hammer it out on one video. Today, unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to finish the progress on Banshee Swap Mini Bike. We will circle back to this in about 2 weeks. Today, unfortunately, we're gonna have to call it quits on the Banshee Swap Mini Bike, and I really wanna ride it, but I don't want to ruin anything. The base gasket is leaking water, so I have to pull the cylinders off. They're leaking. Obviously, the left cylinder's not even firing, so we're only running on one cylinder at that time, which is probably why the thing runs like trash. And then it's got stock carburetors on it. They're jetted 260s, which is a little on the lean side. Typically, we like 280s on the McCuneys, but I thought lean because of the way the pipe design is. We might be fixing the pipe design on this yet, who knows, and maybe change the carbs on it. And we got to check out the back wheel and make sure all that stuff works properly. So with that being said, guys, we still got a little bit of work to do to this. Oh, and a custom fuel tank. I have to make a custom fuel tank. So we have a little bit of work left to do to this. We're gonna save that for the next video. So we got the first start out the way. Not running the best. I'm not gonna be like other creators on the platform that do half-assed running machines. I don't like that. I like to make stuff run to its potential. So we are going to make this thing an absolute ripper in the next video, and then we're gonna take it out and thrash on it. And if it does good, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of extra work to this thing. We might even swap out the front forks with a set of street bike forks. We're gonna gusset the entire frame, so we have a front and rear brake setup on this thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll even make it street legal if she holds up to the abuse. So if you guys like this type of content, you already know what to do. Give me that like, share, subscribe. Love y'all, appreciate y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Oh, that's bright. Better? Oh, ow. There we go.